Hello everyone, it's Patri. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book haul for y'all. I will be sharing some of the books that I've gotten over the past few months, and if I'm honest, some of these are like a year old, but I wanted to show them to you guys because I will take any chance I get to let my books shine. I really slowed down on buying books this last year, so I'm really excited to show you guys what I've been collecting, because I feel like I'm a lot more intentional with what I buy nowadays. Most of the books in this video I had not heard of before, and I picked them up because I was truly interested in reading them, so maybe you guys will find something you want to read in this book haul. So the first book I'm going to talk about is probably the book I'm currently most excited about. I will most likely be reading it in March, and that is the first book of the Kristin Lavransdatter trilogy, The Wreath by Sigrid Undset, a Norwegian classic. It was published in 1920, and in 1928 it won the Nobel Prize in Literature. This is a Penguin Classics version translated by Tina Nunali. I saw it at a bookstore called City Lights in San Francisco, and I immediately fell in love with the cover. It's so beautiful. And then when I read the back, I just felt the need to purchase it. It just seems like something I would enjoy. From what I gathered, the novel follows the life of Kristin Lavransdatter and her romance with a charming man. I think she might be forbidden from being with him because the back says she defies her parents and stubbornly pursues her own happiness. The book is set in 14th century Norway, and I can confidently say that I've never read or consumed any media that is set in this time. It describes the day-to-day life, social conventions, and political undercurrent of the period in detail. So I am really looking forward to picking this one up. The next book is another Penguin Classics, and that is The Betrothed by Alessandro Manzoni, translated by Bruce Penman. This novel is considered an Italian masterpiece. It was published in 1827 and it takes place in 17th century Italy. I got it at a bookstore in Seattle called Lionheart Bookstore at Pike Place Market. It's such a cute bookstore. If you ever have the chance, go check it out. We are following a hero, Renzo, and a heroine, Lucia, who are taken out of their peaceful village and thrown into chaos. They are then separated and they experience riots in Milan, the 30 Years' War, famine, and the plague. I feel like once I start reading this book, the story will just take off and I won't be able to put it down. It just seems like a lot happens. I have a feeling it'll have some angst given the whole lovers separated storyline, and I'm ready. Next book I picked up recently from Half Price Books because I realized I didn't own a copy of it, and that is the beloved Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I read it back in high school when I was like 15 and I loved it, but honestly I feel like a lot of it went over my head. So as part of my scratch off poster challenge, I wanted to reread it and I wanted to own a copy. Anyways, I'm sure most of you know, but this follows the romance of Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. I came across this beautiful edition and it was only $3, and yeah, now I'm happy to own it. Let's take this off together. I feel like it's satisfying. I don't know why I like to do it. Okay. Are we ready? This next book I also got from Half Price Books, and it's called Tara Road by Maeve Binchy. I know nothing about it really other than, and I quote, "It's a tale about family heartbreak, friendship, and revelation." Another quote says, "It's an ultra-modern love story for women, about women, between women, that is sure to delight." So yeah, that called my attention. I love books about female friendship, and if there's heartbreak, even better. And it's just so pretty too. This next book I've been wanting to read for so long, and I am seeing it more and more, especially on Book Talk, and that is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, and it just makes me want to pick it up even more. I got it from the Book People bookstore in Austen in oh god, in July of 2021. So we are going to ignore how long it's just been sitting on my bookshelf. All I know about this book is that it follows the friendship of two girls from the time they were little through the eyes of one of the girls. It's set in Naples, Italy, and it's part of a series. It's been so long since I first became interested, and since then I've avoided reading anything about it to fully immerse myself in the experience of reading it. So that is all I have to say about it. But yeah, I think this book is just beautiful and I can't wait to read it. The next book I'll be talking about I also got quite a bit ago, I think January of last year, but it's just too pretty not to show. And it's called Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. I had heard of some of the other works by the authors, such as The Namesake and the Pulitzer Prize winner The Interpreter of Maladies, but I haven't read them, and I saw this book when it came out in 2021 at Barnes & Noble's, and I was just attracted to it. To this date, I haven't heard much about it, but I'm still very intrigued, and we're following an unnamed narrator in an unnamed city, and it seems like they have lost their way in life. So this novel seems to explore themes of solitude, particularly urban solitude, and maybe we'll see the narrator find their way in life. Okay, this next book my boyfriend bought, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm very interested in reading it, and we share a library, so I'm gonna include it in my book haul. It's called The Invention of Nature by Andrea Wulf, and it's a biography of Alexander von Humboldt, a very famous German scientist from the late 18th century and the early 19th century. Apparently, he had a lot of influence in how we view nature, and he made a lot of predictions on the path industrialization was headed in, such as climate change. His influence is everywhere in North America. Towns, counties, parks, lakes, mountains, and even a river are named after him, but he's been pretty much forgotten. His influence even extends to Darwin, John Muir, who advocated for the preservation of the wilderness and is known as the creator of the National Park System, Henry David Thoreau, and many others. I'm just really interested in reading this book and about Humboldt's adventures in nature, and the book is also illustrated, so that is always fun. If I can find the illustrations. Oh, there we go. Like, you can kind of see, it just has maps, drawings, journal entries, and fun facts. So I'm excited. So yeah, we'll see when I get around to picking this one up. I was going to quickly go over some books in Spanish that I've recently gotten. If you're new here, my first language is Spanish, and although I don't talk about them much on here, I do read quite a fair amount of books in Spanish, and I want to include that in my channel a bit more. So I've just made the executive decision that I'm gonna make a separate book haul for them, and that feels right to me. So if you're interested in the other books that I was gonna talk about, stay tuned. I'll show you a glimpse of them. That's all you're getting. Anyways, the last book that I'll be talking about I already featured in my January wrap-up, but I want to show it off because it's signed. It is 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson, the 5th book to the Truly Devious series that just came out in December. I talked about it lots in my January wrap-up, so go check that out if you want to know more about it, but it's just so cute. I got it from Nowhere Bookshop in San Antonio, and look, it has a very cute stamp, and I love it when bookstores do that. I think they should all do this. And look, it's signed to me. This is like the first book I've ever gotten signed by an author, so can you tell I'm excited? That is it for this book haul. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have or will read any of these. I would love to know. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!